Hello YouTube friends. Today we're going to talk about growing macroalgae in a saltwater tank that doesn't have substrate. And thanks to Bonnie for the question, because she wanted to know how my macroalgae can grow if it doesn't have substrate to grab onto. So you can see there is a tiny bit of substrate in there, but not a lot. This used to be a 300-gallon tank that I had for cowfish many years ago, and I've reconverted it back to a saltwater tank for seahorses. And because it's so deep, I wasn't able to get out every little last bit of substrate, so there is a tiny bit in there, but it's mostly clear, and I like it like that because it's just easier to keep it clean for the seahorses, which is really important for their health. So you can see, in all honesty, there is a tiny bit of substrate, but really not much. Now I do have a variety of macroalgae in the tank, and if you look, you can see that the calipra especially adheres just fine to the decorations. I have some artificial wood, I have a coral skeleton, and you can see that the calipra prolifera is grabbing on, and it's even grabbing onto the bare bottom of the tank. Here's an example of some adhering to the side wall. And here we see some other kinds of macroalgae, and I did fasten them to the coral skeleton here, but they are growing, as you can see, even without substrate to attach to. So as long as there are nutrients in the tank, they will grow. It is a lot slower without substrate, which is loaded with nutrients, but that's the point. I don't want tons of nutrients. And here you can see some macroalgae growing on the artificial hitch that we made. A bunch of it is hanging onto this seahorse tree here. There are definitely nutrients in the tank. The tank's still fairly young. It's only about 7 months running as salt water. There's some macroalgae on the back wall, and you can even see it adhering to this artificial plant here. Another view. And then it even adheres to the glass decorations. So clearly there's no problem with it growing in a tank with no substrate. Like I said, it does grow slower. And here's a stand back view, a wider view, showing how the macroalgae is slowly spreading and will fill up. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.